In this chapter, we'll finish the body by modeling hands, and we can start right now by adding a plane. So I'll press Shift A and add a plane here. And now we are going to extrude a finger from this plane. So let's scale it down a little bit, and we can apply the scale. So Control A and apply the scale. Now look from the front, and we'll need to move this where the hand is supposed to be, so somewhere here, to have that origin point there. And now we can go to the edit mode, so I'll press Tab. And now we'll need to rotate this, so let's rotate the view a little bit and press R, then Z to rotate around the Z axis and 45 degrees. Now let's go back to the front view, and we'll need to rotate this to match the angle of the finger, like that, and scale this down. So press S and scale this down, and we can move this in place a little bit more. So we have something like this diamond shape. That'll be base of our finger. Now we can look from the side, enable the X-ray, so we better match the position. Don't worry about the topology right now at all. We'll get to that later. Now look from the side, and we'll extrude the first finger. So by holding Control and right clicking, you can extrude very easily like this. Then one more time and one more here. So we have something like this. And again, don't worry about the scale right now or the topology. We'll repeat this for the rest of the fingers. So now, to make things easier, let's rotate the view a little bit. Go to the face select by pressing 3, select this face and delete this. We want to open the back side of the finger, so let's delete the face right there. And we can toggle X-ray, so we better see what's going on there. And now select all, to the side view. We can enable the X-ray again. And we'll just duplicate this a few times. So Shift D and duplicate it like that. So it almost touches here. And once more. So we are going for a 4-finger cartoon design. Sometimes it's okay to remove one finger when you have a specific stylized design for the character. You can see this happening in the cartoons and stuff like that. So we are going for the 4 fingers here. So this will be enough. And we can now place this a little bit better. So select all by pressing A and R to rotate. And rotate this a little bit to match the angle of the hand. So yeah, something like this. Maybe on the Z axis as well a little bit. And now toggle the X-ray, and we'll need to connect these inside vertices of these fingers. So let's go to the vertex select by pressing 1. Select these 2 vertices, press M and merge at center. And this command changed for the 2.83 version of Blender. So if you're using the earlier versions, it's probably Alt M for merging. And now from the 2.83 version, it's just M. And now select these 2 vertices and press M once again and merge at center. And now we can fill out these triangles here. So go to the edge select by pressing 2. Select these 2 edges by holding Shift and press F to fill. And we'll repeat this for the other triangles as well at the bottom too. So clicking by holding Shift to select and pressing F to fill. And now we created this loop that can be easily selected. So while still in edge select, if you alt click this loop, it will select nicely, and the rest of the hand can be extruded from there. So let's do that right now. Let's look from the front by pressing 1 on the numpad, and we'll extrude the rest of the hand up until here. And we'll need to remove one face to create a space for the thumb. So go to the face select by pressing 3, select this face, press X and faces to delete. Now let's select this new loop in the hole that we created, and we'll extrude the thumb here. So we can use the top view right here, and press E to extrude. Something like this. Let's look from the side by pressing 3 and toggle X-ray, and we can see we can go a little bit lower. Don't worry about the proportions right now, we'll fix those later according to the reference. And now look from the top again and control right click somewhere here to rotate the extrusion and scale this down a little bit. And we can again check from the side by pressing 3 here and move this down. So the one last thing we'll need to close this up. So while still in the edge select this edge, press F. We can toggle X-ray again and a few times more. So 3 times to close that loop. And now before we finish the hand, we'll need to fix that topology, and the reference will be very useful there. But if you want to do this yourself, basically we are going for a nice hand shape, so we'll need to scale some of these fingers down and do some rotations here and basically make this look a little bit more organic. So let's follow the reference right now. I will enable the X-ray again, look from the front, and we can see the pinky finger is a little bit higher up than it should be, so we can try to fix this. So let's select all, let's scale this down a little bit and rotate and better place in position, and we can now fix this vertex by vertex so we better match the whole reference. Now let's toggle the X-ray again, and with these few vertex adjustments we kind of got the shape we need. So now this will be more of a freeform thing where you just need to rotate this around and find some things that doesn't look so good and fix them basically. Okay, I think this will do, so we can continue and finish the hand right now. So again, this is not an exact thing, and you have to figure out this shape a little bit for yourself. This was just to show you how you can build the topology that you can work with. So we started by extruding these fingers, then connecting them, extruding a palm, and extruding a thumb from there. And this is the correct way how to create a topology for the hand, and the rest is basically up to you. So you can try to match the reference as best as you can, and then I recommend just rotating around and comparing with some reference or the rendered illustration or something like that to find some result that you like the most. So let's now go to the edge select this loop, and we'll extrude this out and scale this down a little bit. Now we can move some of these vertices around so they don't go as far, but here we'll have a little bit of a problem, because if we count the vertices here, there are 8 of them on the hand, but only 6 on the arm here. And we need to connect this, so we need the same exact number of vertices on the hand there. So again, we'll need to create some triangles to match this. And while looking from the back here, we can go to the edit mode back again, and you can see this one looks nice to merge. And we still have the auto merge enabled here. So we can just press G twice and move this down until it doesn't go any further, and click. And we can repeat the same thing down here, like that. I chose to create the triangles here because in the front we need a little bit more geometry to extrude the thumb from, and here we just need to basically extend this to create a pinky. So this is a great way how to simplify the geometry in the back. And now we'll just need to move these things a little bit back in place. So once again, let's play with our hand a little bit so it can be better connected to the arm. I will go to the top view right now, toggle the X-ray again, and select this edge and move it a little bit closer here, and maybe this one here as well. So I guess the hand was a little bit wide there, and this will be better to connect this. Okay, so something like this. And now we are ready to connect this to the rest of the body. So tab out, shift click the body and press Ctrl J to join. Now you can see the subdivision modifier from the body applied to the hand as well. This doesn't look bad, but we'll need to do some adjustments. But before, we need to actually connect this. So first of all, I will disable the preview of the subdivision. So if you go to the modifier panel here, you can click the viewport icon there to disable this. And now tab back in. We have this as a single object now. And with the auto merge still enabled, we can just select these vertices one by one and switch snapping mode here to vertex, but don't enable snapping, just switch the type. And now by pressing G, we can move the vertex, and by holding Ctrl, we can choose which vertex we want to snap this on. And you can see it automatically connects. So select this one, G, Ctrl. So this is a very efficient method how to connect the geometry with use of the snapping and auto merge. So I'll select this one, press G and snap it there. This one as well. And here at the bottom, the last one. Okay, now as you can see, the rest of the body is smooth shaded and the hand is still flat shaded. So right now we can just tab out, right click and shade smooth, and this will apply to a whole model. But here you can see this weird seam, and I suspect there might be something wrong with the normals, and it's completely okay if you create a model like this when you're extruding fingers from the planes and completing the geometry on your own. That will ultimately create problems with normals. So let's tab in, select all and press Shift N to recalculate normals, and you can immediately see how this got better and it looks like a part of the body, and I'm really satisfied with the result. Maybe I don't like the position of the thumb here, so let me look from the front and maybe move this a little bit down and make it a little bit larger. Okay, but now I'm just nitpicking, so again, it's up to you when you decide that you're satisfied with the shape, but it will show itself when we now enable subdivision modifier what changes need to be made. So let's go back to the modifier tab, enable the subdivision for the viewport. Let's tab out and inspect our hands a little bit. So I feel like this looks okay. You can see how this looks as a palm, and the fingers are naturally growing out of it. I really like this, but the fingers are too far away from each other, and we'll need to fix that. So Alt Shift click to select all of these loops, and we need to select this manually. And let's look from the top view by pressing 7 and move this a little bit closer here. And what we can do to make this look better is to select these loops and make them large. So we are giving a little bit of a non-uniform volume to those fingers. You can immediately see how this looks a little bit better. And we can repeat for these loops as well. So I really like this, and later when we create a rig for it, you can reposition the fingers, move them closer together and stuff like that. But the topology, I feel like, is fine here. So maybe a minor adjustments and we are good to go. And now the one last thing is to create a placeholder for a head. So I will press Shift A and mesh and round cube. And this is a part of the extra objects add-on. So let's add a round cube, but it was changed a little bit. Before it just created this quad sphere for you, and now this is really a round cube, so you'll have to modify the presets. So here in the operator presets, we can just expand this and select quad sphere. That's what we are going for. And for the divisions, we'll need to reduce this to 4. So that's enough. And now let's just move this up a little bit, scale it down. And let's look from the front and the side. If you toggle X-ray again, you can see that it goes somewhere here. So let's place the ball as head would go somewhere here. And this is just a placeholder to know where the head should be placed. Okay, now right click, shade smooth, toggle X-ray, and we can call this head dummy. And again, don't forget to save your projects. And this is our base mesh for the rest of the character. And as I said before, this can be considered an archetype for a character that you can derive other characters from. So you can duplicate this and create as many characters in a similar shape as you want.